Welcome back, students. In our previous class, we have seen some of the important parameters of the transmission line. We have seen also the two types of the transmission line, lossless line and the distortionless line. Let us now today see the next point, which is input impedance of a transmission line. So let us now in this class derive the different relation to obtain the input impedance at any point on the line. So let us consider the transmission line extended from 0 to the L at the load. So it means that the total length of the transmission line is equal to L, and our objective here is to find out the input impedance Zin at a Z equal to 0, at Z equal to L, and at any point on the line. So for this case, first of all we need the voltage and current wave. So before we start the derivations, let me brief you about this figure. So this figure actually shows that the transmission line is connected with some generator. The generator voltage is Vg, its internal impedance is Zg, and while the transmission line is also connected with the load impedance. So hence we are trying to obtain the input impedance due to the line terminated by the load. So here we have characterized this transmission line by the propagation constant gamma and the characteristic impedance Z0, and we have also noted down that at a point on the line we can consider the length as either as a Z or as a L prime. The voltage at the Z equal to 0 here denoted by the V0. The current which is flowing at a Z equal to 0 over a transmission line is also denoted by the current I0. Same way at the load side, the voltage which is across the load is denoted by the VL, while the current which is flowing through the load is denoted by the IL. So now let us derive the different expressions for obtaining this input impedance at a generator, at a load side, and at any point on the line. So as I mentioned that for obtaining these input impedance relations, first of all we need a voltage and current wave. So we have already have the solution of the transmission line equations. Here the same expressions I had denoted by the equation 1 and 2. So we know that the phasor voltage Vs of Z is nothing but having a two component. One is the wave which is propagating over a plus Z direction, and one is having a wave which is propagating in a negative Z directions. So ultimately the phasor voltage at any point on the line can be expressed by these expressions, while the current is mentioned by the Is of Z, which is also nothing but the same having a two component. One is in a positive Z direction and one is in a negative Z directions. Here the gamma, as I mentioned, is the propagation constant, and Z0 is nothing but the characteristic impedance of this transmission line. So here these expressions I have converted in terms of the V0 plus by Z0. So ultimately now we have two equations in which are in terms of the V0 plus, V0 minus, and in terms of the Z0. So first of all for finding out this V0 plus and V0 minus, we need to give some terminal conditions. So for that terminal conditions, let me assume that, for example, at the input we say that V0 is nothing but is equal to Vz equal to 0. It means at the input point at a generator side, the voltage which is established we have denoted by now the V0, and the same that I have already explained you, that now at a Z equal to 0 point we are denoting the voltage which is nothing but equal to V0. Same way the current now we are denoting at a Z equal to 0 is nothing but the I0. So these terminal conditions we have now imposed. Now let us try to find out the input impedance at a generator side. For that case, first of all, let us substitute these two conditional expressions into expressions 1 and 2. So we have already seen the equation 1 and 2 are nothing but the voltage and the current wave equations. So let us now put here at Z equal to 0. So this term become because e raised to minus gamma z and e raised to plus gamma z. So at 0 you always find that this term will become 1. So ultimately we will get at Z equal to 0, we have already denoted the Vs of Z will become V0. So final equation that we will obtain will be like in this way. So Vs of Z will become V0 plus e raised to minus gamma z plus V0 minus e raised to gamma z. And that will become, because of the at Z equal to 0, so this term will become 1. This term is also become 1. So finally we will get the voltage at the generator side V0, that is nothing but the having a sum of the amplitude of the V0 plus and the V0 minus. Same way, if you will put for the current relations, then here you can see that this term will become 1, and so we will get the V0 plus by Z0 plus minus V0 minus over Z0. And if I will multiply this Z0 over this I0, then this relation become I0 into Z0, and that is nothing but equal to V0 plus minus V0 minus. So now we have two relations. One is equation number 4 and equation number 5. And our objective first of all is to find out this V0 plus and V0 minus. So for that case is here it is very clear that if you will sum up these two equations 4 and 5, then here as express that if you will sum, then this V0 plus and this V0 minus will cancel out, and ultimately we will get the V0 plus I0 Z0, that is equal to 2 times of the V0 plus. So if we will once again simplify, then we will get the V0 plus will become the 1 by 2 V0 plus I0 Z0. Simply I divide these two, I simply place these two over here. So I am getting now expression 6, which actually express the V0 plus relations. So same way, if we will try to calculate the V0 minus, then for this case we will obtain the V0 minus will become 1 by 2 V0 minus Z0 I0. So this way at generator side now we have a two expressions, one is V0 plus and one is V0 minus, and our objective here is to obtain the input impedance at the generator side, as well as the input impedance at the load side, and as well as the input impedance at any point of the line. So for this case we have obtained these unknown expressions which is nothing but the V0 plus and V0 minus at a generator side. Same way, now let us try to find out the V0 and I0. So first of all we know that the input impedance is nothing but we can consider as for a generator side. Here you can see that the input impedance is nothing but the whatever the voltage which is established across this over the whatever the current flowing. So here the input impedance at the 0 can be directly written as the V0 by I0, and that is nothing but equal to Zin, and that is generated at a source point or a generator point. So for this case, first of all we have to obtain the this V0 and the current I0. So here we have equivalently represented this same circuit is in such a way so that we will obtain the V0 and the I0. So here from this figure we can very easily see that there is a source is generated, which is nothing but the generator is connected at the source side, and there is a internal resistance and there is a input impedance. So now we have expressed all this term is equal to the input impedance at a source side or a generator side. So this figure can be considered as an equivalent circuit of this transmission line for obtaining this V0 and I0. So now let us calculate or find out this V0 and I0. And from this figure it is very simple, that if you will apply simple network analysis rules, voltage divider rules, then you can very easily calculate the V0, and same way you can also calculate the using a simple Ohm's law you can calculate the I0 also. So here for obtaining this V0, it is nothing but the voltage established across the input impedance at the generator side, that is nothing but equal to nothing but the simple voltage divider rule. So I have applied. So here I will get the Zin divided by the sum of the total impedance present over that loop. So here the total sum of the impedance is nothing but the Zg plus Zin. So finally we will obtain the source voltage generator point, the voltage across the Z equal to 0 is nothing but the Zin over Zin plus Z0 into V0. Same way if I have to calculate the current, so current is nothing but the I0. So I0 is nothing but the whatever the voltage here the generator Vg is the voltage, supply voltage, so divided by the impedance. So impedance is nothing but the Zin plus Zg. So finally now we have also the input voltage V0 and input current I0 from this figure. So now next we will also find out some expressions for the equations for the input impedance at a load side. So as we have already seen that for obtaining the relation for a source side, we have a V0 plus and V0 minus at a Z equal to 0. So now we will try to obtain the same kind of the expression for a Z equal to L length. So for that case, let us first of all define the conditions. So here at load, we can say that the voltage which is generated is nothing but equal to VL, and can be expressed as a voltage at a Z equal to L length. And same way I can express the current which is flowing through the load can be considered as a IL, and which is nothing but at a length Z equal to L. So this is the same thing that I have already explained you in my first slide, that here at this point we are trying to find out now the voltage and current. So for that first of all we have seen that this voltage is nothing but at Z equal to L is nothing but the VL, and the current which is flowing is nothing but the IL. So now for this case, let us define or try to find out these once again these V0 plus and V0 minus equations. So for obtaining this V0 plus and V0 minus expression for the at a load side, now let me put the same thing here. So we have already now defined, so now Vs of z will become Vl, that is equal to V0 plus e raised to minus gamma L plus V0 minus e raised to plus gamma L. Same way we can express now the voltage will become, earlier it was a Is of z, but now we know that at z equal to L current is IL, so I put it current IL, which is nothing but the load current. Now that will become V0 plus divided by Z0 e raised to minus gamma L minus V0 minus over Z0 e raised to plus gamma L. So let us, we will solve these equations. So here we have solved these equations. So these equations is nothing but I have put it in a such a way that first of all I multiply this Z0 here, so I will get the IL Z0 V0 plus e raised to minus gamma L minus V0 minus e raised to gamma L. So already this expression I have written same expressions, and as we have earlier done, same procedure I am doing. I am sum up these two expressions so that I can omit any one expressions. So here I can see that if I will sum up, I can omit this V0 minus. So these two will directly cancel out because of the positive negative, and V0 plus e raised to minus gamma L, and this is the same quantity, so it will become 2V0 plus e raised to minus gamma L, that is equal to V0 plus IL into Z0. So ultimately I am interested in a V0 plus. So V0 plus will become 2 will also come out here, and e raised to minus gamma L will come here in a denominator, and if we will put in the numerator side, then e raised to minus gamma L become plus gamma L. So now finally we will get the V0 plus is equal to 1 by 2 in bracket V0 plus IL Z0 e raised to gamma L. So now please take care here, earlier it was a minus, but now we have a plus gamma L expressions. So now we have the V0 plus amplitude expressions. Now we will try to find out similarly V0 minus for these conditions where at Z equal to L we have a VL, and Z equal to L we have a current IL. So if we will try to solve the same way, then we will get the final expressions will become this. So V0 minus will become 1 by 2 VL minus Z0 IL e raised to minus gamma L. So please take care here that these two expressions actually express the voltage wave amplitude at a point Z equal to L, which is nothing but at a load point. Okay, so earlier we have calculated the V0 plus and V0 minus which was at a source point or a generator point. Okay, so earlier there was no e raised to minus or plus gamma term, but here you can see that because there is a gamma propagation constant is present, so we are getting here in expression also these two terms. So finally now we have the two main expressions. One is at a load point Z equal to 0, and second one is at a load point Z equal to L. So now let us determine the input impedance at any point on the line. Earlier we have seen that the voltage is at a source point or at a load point. Now for calculating or for obtaining the input impedance at any point on the line, we can define the input impedance is nothing but the at any point on the line at Z equal to any value, for example 1 meter, 2 meter, or Z can be maximum at L. So if you will take the ratio of this voltage and current, we will get the input impedance. So now our objective here, as I mentioned, that for example you have to find out the voltage, so input impedance at this point. Okay, so for this case we can calculate that Zin is nothing but the whatever the voltage present here divided by the whatever the current flowing through this point. So for this case, let us now derive the expressions. So for that case, what I start with the, I will start with the for a generator example. So what we will do that at a generator, for example, we assume that as we have already seen that the at Z equal to 0 we have a V0 voltage, and at a Z equal to 0 the current is I0. So ultimately input impedance become Vs of Z over Is of Z. So it will become what? It will become because we have already seen that earlier in this Vs of Z there are terms like e raised to minus gamma Z and e raised to plus gamma Z, but because Z equal to 0, so that terms will become 1, and hence we will get the V0 plus V0 minus over V0 plus over Z0 minus V0 minus over Z0. So I think this one is clear. Otherwise, let me once again go back to the original equations so that there will be no problem. So what I did here, once again, here for this Vs of Z, I put Z equal to 0. Here also Z equal to 0. So we are getting V0 plus V0 minus. Same way for current, I am getting I0 is equal to V0 by Z0. This term will become 1, and minus V0 minus by Z0 into 1. So this way we are getting at the generator side. Now the input impedance is nothing but this. So let me simplify these expressions. So if you will simplify these expressions, you will find that this Z0 I can write over here. So Z0 V0 plus V0 minus over V0 plus minus V0 minus. So using this now what we'll do, that using these two above expressions that we have obtained at a load point, if you will use this equation number 10 and 11 here, and if you will put these values V0 plus and V0 minus over here, and if you will try to find out or try to solve these expressions, we will find out the final input impedance expressions. So here the same thing that I have did. So I put V0 plus, I put V0 minus expressions here, and I have tried to solve the full these expressions. So let me show you the final solution of this expression also, so that in your exam also if it has been asked, then it is very easy to write down its solution also. So let me give you the solution of this part. So now same expression I have written over here. So Z0 V0 plus V0 minus over V0 plus minus V0 minus. So I have already put the values of this V0 plus V0 minus, and now I have tried to simplify the same equations. So for that what I did, I first of all multiply this 1 over 2 here, so the equation become more simpler. So yeah, this is the same way. Now same thing I did. Now what I did, that now in these steps, here you can see that here there is a VL load voltage, here there is a current IL. So here these I have come out this current IL outside, so that what will happen, we will get this expression in terms of the load impedance. So for obtaining the equations in terms of the load impedance, here I have come out this IL. So you can see that now this expression become VL by IL plus z0 e raised to gamma L divided by 2. Same way here also I come out this IL, so I am getting a VL by IL minus z0. So so you can see now that in full this term I have. So we have now the relations in terms of the now ZL. So now the equation becomes Z0 ZL plus Z0 e raised to gamma L by 2 plus ZL minus Z0 e raised to minus gamma L by 2 over the same expression, but there is a minus signs. So now let us once again try to simplify this expression. So for that case what I did is I have come out this ZL as in this way, so that this is to gamma L plus by 2 plus this e raised to minus gamma L by 2 will become the sum. So so everything is now in terms of the ZL. Now everything is in terms of the Z0, and at the denominator side also I did the same thing. So ultimately now I try to find out the such a expressions which is nothing but equal to the cos hyperbola L expression. So we know that this expression is nothing but the cos hyperbola L. So here there is a gamma term, so we can write the ZL as a ZL into cos hyperbola gamma L plus Z0, and we know that this expression is nothing but the sine hyperbola into gamma L. So we will get the Z0 sine hyperbola gamma into L, and at the denominator side also we will get ZL, and this is nothing but the sine hyperbola gamma into L plus Z0 cos, this one is nothing but the plus, so cos hyperbola into gamma into L. So ultimately now we have the such a relations which is in terms of the cos hyperbola and sine hyperbola. Let me once again simplify these expressions so that we will get everything is in terms of the tan hyperbola. So for that case what I did that in these expressions I simply here I have put come out this cos hyperbola out. Here also I come out this cos hyperbola L come out. So cos will cancel out. So we will get finally in the expression like this. So ZL Z0 is already there. ZL plus Z0 sine hyperbola gamma L divided by cos hyperbola into gamma into L, and Z0 plus ZL sine hyperbola gamma L divided by sine hyperbola gamma into L. So this way now we have we also now know that the tan hyperbola gamma L is nothing but the sine hyperbola gamma L divided by cos hyperbola gamma into L. So ultimately we will get the, for a lossy line, the input impedance become Z0 in bracket ZL plus Z0 tan hyperbola into gamma into L divided by Z0 plus ZL tan hyperbola gamma into L. So this is the final equations that all of you have to remember for a lossy line. So for a lossless line, if we have to find out the input impedance, then we know that for a lossless case, the gamma is nothing but the J beta. So if you will put here tan hyperbola gamma L, where gamma is nothing but the J beta L, so this term will become tan hyperbola gamma L become tan hyperbola J beta L, and this is nothing but J will come out here, so this will become J tan beta L. So hyperbola will remove. So we will get finally the here we will get the equation for a lossless line is nothing but the Z0 ZL plus Z0, but now because of the tan hyperbola gamma L is nothing but now equal to J tan beta L. So I put it here J Z0 tan beta L divided by Z0 plus J ZL tan beta L. So this is called the input impedance expression for a lossless line. So this way ultimately we obtain the two major expressions. One is for a lossy line and one is for the lossless line. So here we can see that the input impedance varies periodically with the distance L from the load. And one another point that here this beta L quantity usually referred to as a electrical length of the line and can be expressed in terms of the degrees. Okay, so please take care that whenever we will solve the problem of the transmission line, we will take care about this beta L. So this beta L is can be represented in terms of the degree and radians. So this way in this class we have finally obtained the two major expressions. One is for a lossless line and one is for a lossy line, the input impedance. So thank you very much.